Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Maritina Greloni. I'm the head of growth of Endeavor Greece. So before we go ahead with the pitching session of the startups, I would like to give you a very brief overview, 5 minutes overview of what we do and the Greek innovation ecosystem. So in case you don't know Endeavor, in case you haven't heard of us before, we are a global non-profit organization. We are the biggest global network of high-impact entrepreneurs. We are in 45 countries around the world at the moment, secondary markets. And we've been in Greece since 2012. And what we do, actually, we support the rising star entrepreneurs, so the entrepreneurs who scale fast, dream big, and at the same time, we give them the platform to multiply their impact locally, because our mission is to support and to support the development of the Greek innovation ecosystem. Throughout these years, we've been working a lot with the Greek diaspora as well, and that's why we are here today. And we support organizations like the HIAS and other organizations as well, like the Hellenic initiative, etc. Because what we are trying to do is to attract and to bring resources from abroad to the Greek ecosystem, like what other organizations do, as we saw before, Antigone from HDBI, etc. Before we go ahead with the companies, I would like to give you a very brief overview of the Greek innovation ecosystem and where we are today. The numbers I'm going to show you are from 2024, end of year. In numbers, the Greek innovation ecosystem in 2024, we had more than 800 startups. They were registered also in Elevate Greece, which is the national registry of startups and scale-ups. And in 2024, 120 funding rounds took place in the local ecosystem, and there were $340 million that the Greek startups raised. What we mean by Greek startups is startups either founded in Greece or the 20% of their employees is based here. However, as we work a lot with the diaspora, we also monitor what's going on in the diaspora. So to give you the perspective, only in 2024, 1.3 billion were raised from Greek diaspora founders around the world. And that's why we believe that they should get more connected with the local ecosystem. We had 12 exits, and I would like to specifically mention that we have 3 unicorns at the moment in the ecosystem. What we mean by unicorn is companies with a valuation of more than $1 billion, tech companies with a valuation of more than $1 billion. And just to give you a very specific number, it's only the 25% of the total foreign direct investments that took place in 2024 was from the acquisition of one of these 3 unicorns of Beta Cae up north in Thessaloniki. Here you may see 12 Greek outlier founders. We call them outliers because these are the people who scale much faster than all the rest and exceed all the key metrics. As you may see, here we have people in AI research, in cryptography. I would like to particularly mention that in cryptography, Greeks are very strong, and out of all the chief cryptographers around the world, among the top 20, most of them are Greeks, and including Kostas Chalkias, that you may see up on the left. He's the co-founder of Mysten Lab with a valuation of more than $4 billion. Also, the rest are active in education tech, like Thanos Papagelis and Lefteris Douanoglou on the left-hand side at the bottom. We have a lot of fintech founders, biotech, of course, which is again another industry that the Greeks are traditionally very strong, and this is because they are connected. They are primarily researchers turned into founders, and also cybersecurity. Here I would like to show you that, and perhaps it's not very well known, that there are very big tech corporations that have invested heavily in Greece. And here we have the top high-impact foreign direct investors that have taken place throughout the last decade, 12 years. From JP Morgan to Google to Meta that acquired Acusonus, NVIDIA, Tesla that has created one of its 3 robotics centers here in Greece. Samsung that had acquired Innoetics at the very, very beginning of the Greek innovation ecosystem, etc. But also what we are seeing as endeavor is that the Greek ecosystem is truly leveling up and is becoming more ambitious and more competitive. And that's why we see also a lot of traction of international people traveling to Greece as well for the last 5 years, not just for holidays, but also for business, for investments, etc. As we know, the government has created the Pharos AI Factory and the AI Advisory Committee to the Prime Minister, which has given, this is a great start. And also, 50%, more than 50% of the Greek outliers are world-class AI researchers around the world. Then also, thanks to HDBI as well, and HDB, we have a funding spring with 34 VCs, PEs operating at the moment in Greece, and they have collectively almost 2 billion in assets under management, and they have so far invested 650 million in 170 companies. Also, but at the same time, we have a big number of top-tier VCs that have invested in Greek startups and international VCs, like Sequoia, General Catalyst, Andreessen Horowitz, etc. Also, another interesting element is that we have started seeing foreigners, particularly Indians, joining big scale-ups as the CEOs, like the CEO of Epignosis, the CEO of Ross is an Indian, of Indian origin. And also, and this is why we are also working with HIAS, we've seen an appetite in the community and the government and the academia to connect with the market. So from Demokritos and Athena Research Center to Archimedes, that's headed up by Mr. Kostis Daskalakis, to university initiatives and HIAS. And also, the thing is that 80% of the people that you saw before as Greek outliers, they are graduates of Greek universities, which is an important aspect of the caliber of our education here, and we should then invest more on this. And also another very interesting metric that we have seen is that Greece is one of the top contributors of university professors in the US. And to be more precise, it's not just one of the top, we are the #2 contributor in absolute numbers, right behind India. Here, what we are also do as endeavor, but other organizations in Greece as well, and we are working with them is that we try to connect top-tier Greeks and international mentors with the Greek ecosystem. So you may see here not just Greek diaspora people, but foreigners as well, who mentor earlier stage entrepreneurs here. They join companies as CEOs or VPs, and also they are the people who lead the FDI. So that's it from me. Happy to take any questions you may have at the end of the pitching sessions. So let's go straight to the pitching sessions now. And I would like to call on stage Mrs. Sofia Pomakidou from EVO. Just to be clear in terms of the rules of the pitching sessions, each founder has 5 minutes to give his pitch, and then we'll go ahead with the next one. Thank you.
Let me just check. Okay. No. Okay. So the time starts right now. Okay. So, hello everyone, I'm Sofia. I'm so happy today to navigate you in our bioengineering world. Have you ever wondered what is the maximum load your body can take? Have you ever wondered if a training session is good or bad for you? We in EVO Human Performance believe that human structure is the ultimate machine and should be treated likewise. The truth is, the problem out there is huge. We started from extreme boundary conditions, from professional sport clubs that bleed financially. Almost 30% of annual payroll is sitting on the bench. And the answer to the problem is that there is no answer. So here we come with a software solution, an AI-powered engineering solution for daily monitoring of performance and of musculoskeletal condition. We are the first one in the market to actually build a scientific system international with units regarding loads to say and understand the same things, all of us globally. We are the first one to come with the concept of musculoskeletal structure, the first one to actually personalize every procedure because each one is unique, and to actually digitalize all users. The process for us is really, really easy. All we need is 2 kinds of inputs. We need common sensor data, which we provide, for us to create a mathematical equation to describe loading, unloading ability, combined to an MRI of lower limbs, for us to create a 3D digital twin. This way, we can early detect micropathologies and to actually digitalize athletes. This is our application. We're really proud in our 4th version that we are super easy to navigate, super user-friendly, and super useful. These are our sensors at the edge of technology, just 1 click away of your tech solution. We are really proud that we already have some great case studies with top-tier clubs by saving them millions and millions of euros. Our business model is annual subscription, and we are really proud that we already collaborate with many top-tier sport clubs in basketball and football. Of course, we are not the only ones in the market. In this market, we have many direct and indirect competitors. All of them were funded at the stage where we are now, and even earlier, without having paying customers, from 9 to 300 million euros. And this is very logical because it's quite a huge market, almost 220 billion euros annually, and this refers only to sport clubs that already use wearables technology. Actually, being out there in the commercial market for 2 years, the market showed us the new path where we are about to move, and we are becoming a 360 business. We are creating a marketplace with all digital tools for all stakeholders to create their own solution. They say you cannot go far without a great team, agreed. We are really happy to have 35 highly skilled engineers. And altogether, we move forward confidently to support in the next 1 year and a half about 100 accounts and become the next golden standard. This way, we are engaged to generate revenues of 61 million euros. And actually, they say that the best way to predict the future is to create it yourself. Join us to rewrite the future the engineering way. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sofia. Now I would like to call on stage Angeliki Melou from My Happy Self. Here.
Great. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Angeliki Melou, founder of My Happy Self, a mental health care platform designed to provide accessible, accurate, and personalized support for today's fast-paced and emotional demanding world. At My Happy Self, we combine evidence-based clinical models with AI to provide accessible traditional, At My Happy Self, we combine evidence-based clinical models with AI to go beyond the traditional online tools. Our platforms help reduce diagnostic bias, help to bring insights, emotional insights, and, sorry, I'm a bit stressed out. Yeah, thank you. Our platform show reduces diagnostic bias, enhances emotional insight, and helps detect the early symptoms of emotional disorders. We've successfully partnered with B2B clients across many sectors, and I'm excited to introduce our newest initiative, HIASmaritime.com, a mental health platform specifically designed for the shipping industry. The need is real and urgent. Life at sea is shaped by extreme isolation, irregular schedules, and long separation from loved ones. More than 41% of seafarers report symptoms of anxiety, depression, or loneliness, yet support in this sector remains limited, fragmented, and often not culturally aligned with crew needs. With HIAS Maritime, we aim to change that by delivering clinically sound, culturally sensitive, and scalable mental health care that can meet seafarers where they are, both emotionally and geographically. Our team brings together over 20 years of experience in mental health. We've partnered with MIT Department of Computational Biology to co-develop our clinical model that integrates AI with behavioral analytics. This model allows us to deliver personalized, timely support, not just react to crises, but working to prevent them before they escalate. Especially in environments like shipping, where early intervention can make all the difference, our solution helps shift mental health from being an afterthought to a core element of operational safety and crew well-being. Our platform stands on two core pillars. First, our AI-powered support system. We've trained our chatbot using anonymized data from thousands of seafarers to recognize mental health patterns and provide 24/7 real-time support. It's not just a chatbot, it's a virtual companion that understands the context, the language, and emotional landscape of life at sea. Through proactive chat assessments, our system continuously monitors emotional signals during conversations and helps detect. Alongside this, seafarers have access to a personalized digital library, multilingual tools, and a dedicated app that works offline, offering mood tracking, emotional check-ins, and instant coping strategies when connectivity is limited. Second, our management training and crisis response. We equip on-board and shore-based leaders with psychological first-aid skills, helping them spot early signs of distress. Our crisis response framework, built on anonymized reporting and behavioral analytics, ensures early intervention in high-risk scenarios without compromising crew privacy or trust. To date, we've delivered over 17 million hours to more than 20,000 users. And what set us apart? Our solutions are the only ones based in peer-reviewed clinical models, ensuring not just innovation, but measurable, lasting impact. We are proud to offer remote mental health interventions to employees who often have the least access, yet the greatest need. With MHS, organization can finally provide their people with a trusted, intelligent, and clinically grounded tool that not only understands their challenges, but stands by them anytime, anywhere. Thank you for your time. I look forward to connecting, exchanging ideas, and building a future where mental health is not just supported, but championed at every level. Sorry, I'm having the time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angeliki. Now I would like to call on stage Iosif Albertis from NTUA.
Hello, my name is Joseph Albertis, and I'm building NTUA, I hope, AI health coach that is using medical and wearable data to build the health habits for busy people like I think most of us. So what we try to solve is the fact that most of the preventable deaths is preventable, and it is behavior. So we discuss with people in focus groups. What we have seen is, first of all, they don't know what to do. And it's not only that there is lack of information, many times there is much information out there. So more or less what they say is, I would like a team of coaches, not only health coaches, but also nutritionists, fitness coaches. But I don't have, because I don't have time for my health. So, however, this should be at a fraction of the price I would expect to have. So what we build, it's an AI health coach that delivers personalized plans on your calendar. So it should be on a daily basis. It starts with a full blood test and wearable data we collect from your phone. So you don't need any GP or insurance approval to use it. It's out of pocket. It's easier to go there. You get an AI-powered screening with 360 dashboard, which is reviewed by a physician and is reviewed in 5 minutes. So it takes much less than it does today. And at the end, the whole plan gets into a weekly adaptive plan and also daily nudges. This is where the name comes from, to improve your nutritional fitness and mindfulness habits. So you have an application. You can upload any exams you have. We recommend, however, using our own one, which are quite complete. And also we sync your wearable data. You get the plan into your phone, and then this breaks down into smaller steps you get delivered through notifications on a daily basis. We have already an application on App Store and Google Play. It is part of the first 2 steps, so we are using the application to collect information and take users into trial. However, we're building that and we expanded that. So the idea is we automate screening and we scale coaching. We have a very affordable and actually a free plan to go into, upload your record, share with people you want with permissions, and get a basic report. If you want the physical physician review, you go into a plan, you have an annual blood test, you get the physician report, and you get the personalized plan on your phone. We are discussing, we have many requests for later to have add-ons with more exams, subscription with experts, and partnerships to build on that. So we started with Greek experts in the UK because the whole NHS system it's a pain for prevention. So we're not scared. You don't need symptoms to go into our panel, which is quite complete. You get a GP consultation, same-day consultation, so you don't have to wait or have many visits. And at the end, you go to the next step, the coaching plan. So if you try to do that on your own, you have to take many, many steps or more money to complete that. So we are bootstrapped today. We have a wait list where we enroll users in our trials. We have enrolled already 50 people. And we have found very interesting cases, people that didn't know they have serious issues, and we send them to doctors. Or they had signs of especially insulin resistance. That means they are becoming pre-diabetic and have to change the lifestyle. And we have partnerships for the trials ready in Greece for Affidea, with Affidea and many others, physicians and experts that were running the trials. So we are two, as co-founders, it's me and Konstantinos. We used to work together at Orpheum, a scale-up from Greece, and then also had experience from TileTB, a great company with life science experience. Things are coming, you have to pay attention to that. And we have an advisor, Thanasis, that for 2 years he has been working with us to build the whole plan, the whole panel. So we are scientifically backed by someone that has been doing that by practice for many years in Canada. And we are hiring to grow our team. So we went with Greek Angels. I love that the fact that after some years I tried to go and do startups, I found so many people willing to support us. And we continue with UK Angels because this is the market we are going to work together, Greece and UK together. So we want to launch with this pre-seed round, our business in Athens and London, and complete the whole experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joseph. I would like to call on stage Mr. Dimitrios Giakoumis from Mozi Robotics.
So, good afternoon. Mozi Robotics is a spin-off company of CERT. It has been established in 2020, and its headquarters are in Thessaloniki. It is there where we build our robots. Since 2020, we build robots, we design them, we build them, and we put in them also software. Software for environment understanding and autonomous navigation. Our basic products, you can see here, concern, on one hand, robots that operate in indoor cases, and on the other hand, robots that operate in outdoor cases, in focus areas such as manufacturing, public spaces, agriculture, and also military. We have established these years good partnerships and customers in Greece, and trying also to expand beyond Greece. Through our developments of the robots, we have understood, for instance, through this robot of ours, we have understood how hard outdoor navigation is. It is challenging, it is very challenging, either for workers who operate, for instance, construction machines in construction spaces. You can see here a case of a flip over of a machine in a construction site. The problem here is traversability analysis, terrain recognition and traversability analysis. It is a very difficult task for outdoor robots, even if we go to harsh environments, such as that of the picture, or if we go even to other scenarios, as in agriculture, that we go, we try to put robots to work, and sometimes the robot is obstructed, as your cars also, by grass, which shouldn't be the case. So, what we are focusing now is a module, a 3D navigation module. Okay, we have our robots, we are building them, we are selling them, but we are considering in the next 2 years to have this module as our spearhead product. This module will be a standalone module to put on service robots that are planned to operate in outdoor scenarios, on autonomous vehicles, or also on vehicles operated by humans, in order to provide them an understanding, a better understanding of the terrain that the machine, in agriculture, in construction, in some harsh environment is going to go, and whether it is capable, that machine, of going there. So this will be a module comprising sensors, comprising an AI PC on board, and we will have software methods that we are developing for SLAM and 3D mapping, traversability analysis, semantic segmentation, sensor fusion and synchronization, object detection and tracking, reactive path planning, along with the necessary connectivity elements. And this will be capable to be, as a small module, integrated on top of a robotic system. So we move beyond our robots, our own robots, and we aim to expand also to provide this as a module for autonomous navigation to other systems. This is not new for us. We have lots of research that backs up this. Research that has been published in top-tier conferences of AI and robotics in scientific journals, as we start from our robotics lab, and then we build on top of this, and we create proprietary software that we put on our robots. Of course, there is lots of further state-of-art that is currently in their way, and this is something good for us because we can build on this further state-of-the-art that is continuously building, relevant to our use cases, and elaborate further our methods. Our basic competition at the moment concerns two modules, one from Stereolabs and one from ClearPath, which in the first case, it can provide obstacle detection services. The second can also provide autonomous path planning. We have a clear implementation plan, and as I said, we aim to have this as a product in the next 1 to 2 years. And with this product added to our portfolio, we foresee to scale up at the level of around 70 million EBITDA in the next 5 years. So this is our core team. Of course, we have further collaborators, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tsurounis. I'm sorry, thank you very much, Giacomis. Now I would like to call on stage Mr. Dimitris Tsurounis from Quantum Neural Technologies.
Thank you. Hello. We are Quantum Neural Technologies, a Greek startup based in Athens. So, okay. Nowadays, more business venture into the world of quantum computing because of the opportunity to perform more complex calculations exponentially faster than the classical computer only for specific applications or problems. This is because the quantum computer utilizes quantum bits, so-called qubits, which can represent both 0 and 1 simultaneously, based on the principle of quantum computing, and this increasing the computational power exponentially versus the linear increasement of classical bits. So the global quantum computing market expected to grow to 2 trillion billions in the next decade. So the quantum computing is an emerging technology with significant potentials. Our company, the QNT company, is founded by two mathematicians, Angelos Tsikas and Takis Psarogiannakopoulos. Angelos brings decades of hands-on industry experience with engineering project and technology advisory project, and also has a research collaboration with Yuhi Leuven in theoretical maths and for geotechnical engineering. Takis was co-founder of CQC, Cambridge Quantum Computing, now known as Quantinuum, which may be the most advanced standalone quantum computing company nowadays. And also Takis was the creator of Ticket, a popular platform for gate-based quantum computing. Our scientific team is empowered by a world-renowned group of scientific advisors, including Bella Bolobaz, a leading figure in modern graph theory, Georgios Daskios, a renowned mathematician and professor emeritus of University of Patras, and Professor Marin, an expert economics and risk management at the University of California. Our team is a group of talented physicists, mathematicians, and computer science, leading by 3 senior scientists with PhDs in quantum computing, quantum physics, and deep learning, trying to combine concepts from the quantum computing with artificial neural networks in order to provide and design solutions that are both in novelty and novel and efficient in different applications. So our research and development directions involves the investigation of variation of quantum algorithms and the development of a quantum computing simulation environment. By combining these two contents together, we could address different problems from different sections of the industry, like optimization problems or communication protocols or quantum machine learning, and many other. But we are working on the protein folding problem, following a quantum computing approach with variation of quantum algorithms. The protein folding problem is a computational problem of how to predict the native structure of a protein from its amino acid sequence. And we believe that the huge complexity of the molecular interaction is a great place for quantum computing. So the quantum computing approaches offer a real potential to tackle these challenges. In order to implement our variation quantum algorithms, we are developing a quantum computing simulation environment, which is an efficient and user-friendly platform where users can develop, simulate, and optimize this variation quantum algorithm before deploying them to real GPUs. We think that there is a gap right now maybe in the industry, and this is a very useful tool for researchers in this field because the existing quantum computing simulator either lack performance or are overly complex for agile workflows. So in this manner, our investigation with protein folding problem with variation of quantum algorithms based on QAOA. This is quantum approximate optimization algorithms that utilize qubits to encode a protein into a tetrahedral lattice, and then trying to minimize the Hamiltonian of the system, finding the ground state structure of the protein. Something like that, for example. Right now, we are implementing quantum algorithms for 7 and 8 amino acids, which is very close to state-of-the-art. And we have an ongoing project toward to scaling up to larger peptides right now. In this slide, I try to make a very small demonstration about our VQA specialized quantum computing simulation environment. We select the quantum circuits that we want to utilize. We select a problem. In this implementation right here, we solve a graph optimization problem using VQAs. So we select the type of graph and the problem, the max cut problem, and the preferences like the optimizer that we want to utilize, or the simulator, Qiskit simulator, or something else from the simulators. We run the optimization problem, and we extract the corresponding results. So now we are very close to incorporate the protein folding problem into this framework. So to close my presentation, yes, the QNT have collaborations with different institutions worldwide. For example, the branch of quantum neural technologies in Canada, the Carnegie Mellon University, Mars and Vector Institute in Canada, the Demokritos National Laboratory of Greece, and different European universities that we are taking part in recent project proposal with us. So we are a team of scientists that are trying to try and experiment with the quantum computing application. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much, Dimitris. Now I would like to call on stage Mrs. Ioanna Zergioti from Fosprint.
So good afternoon. Very glad to present Fosprint. Fosprint is a company aims to tissue transformation via in vivo laser bioprinting. So I am Ioanna Zergioti. I am a CEO and founder of Fosprint, and Fosprint is a high-tech spin-off company from the ICCS, which is affiliated to the National Technical University of Athens, based on the technology outcome of my research work as a professor there for the last 20 years. So we have a solid portfolio of IP, of 5 patents on different stages. We have different prototypes working either in the experimental animal surgery lab, as you may see on the right side, or in humans on the bottom side of the image here. We have been awarded with the European Innovation Council Accelerator Grant First. We have 2 million to implement our business plan and product, and we are close to close the first round of investment with a lead investor and a few angel investors like Lars Rasmussen, but also crowdfunding that we are working with in Spain. So we are currently, we have successfully completed our preclinical in large animals, in pigs, and we are working with the first in humans to get approval from EOF in alignment with the EMA and taking all the certifications for as a medical device, but in parallel with as an ATMP, as a tissue engineering product, because we also expand cells, as I'm going to present you in a while. So the problem we address is patients in need of transplants. And our first case is bladder cancer patients, which currently have no solutions. Either they go in for incontinence life and complete cystectomy, or some of them, a small percentage, proceed with orthotopic neobladder, which is the surgeon takes 40 centimeters for the intestinal tissue and suture with the urethra and the ureters to perform a bladder. But in this case, there are a number of side effects due to the mucus formation and different epithelium of the intestinal tissue. The market is quite, 500,000 every year, out of which we aim for about 60,000 cases per year. So what we do is outlined here. We start from a biopsy, we proliferate and we multiply the cells under GMP, of course, conditions. And then when it comes to the surgery, what we do is the surgeon performs the cystectomy and then proceeds with the de-epithelialization of the intestinal tissue, which causes the side effects. And then we print in vivo with a laser printer the urothelial cells that we have expanded in advance and proliferate. And we can do that with a laser technology in a very fast manner without extending the time of the surgery. So we can print about 1 million cells per second, and one surgery is calculated that will require about 40 million cells. So they will have excellent results from the preclinical under quality management system as a medical device, and we have proven performance of the urothelial cells performing a urothelium barrier on top of the mass of the intestinal, and we can see that under advanced biological staining procedures. We have complete absence of mucus, of course, which in the case of the classical neobladder produces stone, and we have also absence of any metabolic syndrome. So this is a great team in place. We have, on the top row, you may see the founders, and we have excellent staff, combined engineers, software engineers who have developed medical software so far, and laser optics biologists, and also a great group of advisors, including medical doctors and surgeons. So the competition, the competition is both the generic companies for printing that sell printers for generic purpose, and some of them are very well known, like Regenhur, like Schelling, etc. Laser printing and the combination of in vivo doesn't exist so far, so we're the first company to bring in vivo laser bioprinting. And of course, we do that with the excellent combination of the laser printing technology, which combines an advanced adherence of the cells on the tissue. So where we are now we are May 2025. We are working very hard to submit end of June at the EOF in alignment with the ATMP and the medical device requirements, and then we expect by the end of the year to get to the first in humans and to perform less than 10 patients, and following the second and third phase, we will be able to get to the market. And what we aim to have in 5 years from now, 100 installed systems operating 120 surgeries per center, giving us a revenue of 80 million. So what we need is the next round. We close this round, and we aim to have a next round together with EIB, which is committed to engage to the equity phase of this venture. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Eriotti. Now I would like to call on stage Mr. Vangelis Sakalis from TrackBit.
Okay, hello everybody. Hope I'm not the last one. So I'm going to talk about TrackBit, which is a wearable device for faster and triage, as we call it in emergency and combat medicine. So what's the problem? I'm sure that you've been in a situation before where you didn't feel well while at home, so you had somebody else to drive you to the hospital. And then as soon as you arrive at the hospital, you realize that it's rather busy and you have to wait there for hours in most of the cases in order for somebody to get you to the doctors in order to do the triage, so to assess your health status and redirect you to a specialist. Now, that can take about 2 to 5 hours if we calculate what's happening in the European Union. Now imagine the alternative. As soon as you arrive at the hospital, a nurse comes nearby and attaches a device to your chest or worn on your wrist, and that captures your vitals, and in real time, all the doctors that are in their room, they can monitor the status of what is happening outside their doors. So as you can imagine, the patient feels much more better and he's timely treated, and of course we avoid life-threatening situations. And that's not only good for the patient but for the hospital as well, because there are no more left without being seen patients, because that's the case most of the times. The hospital can increase patient throughput, can avoid medical practices, and of course avoid liabilities that are directly related to bad practices. So this is what we've done to assist in this direction. So we have designed in-house a small sensor that looks like a matchbox. It's lightweight. This can be attached in a placeholder and can be either a watch, or what we promote more and we feel that it's much more better is to attach it to your chest for a number of reasons. So what we have is this thing here, which is a patch. You attach this, clip it here directly, and you stick it to your chest. And that starts continuously transmitting vital signs. So on the other side, you have the clinician, a clinician-facing portal that receives all of their vital signs, alerts, AI algorithms, and so on. So what we actually measure with this device, we measure 3-lead ECG. That's the medical golden standard. We measure heart rate variability, blood pressure estimation. We have oxygen saturation and respiration rate. We also have stethoscope functionality, so we hear your lungs. We also have skin and core temperature, and we also have activity tracking and recognition. So all these at the same device. We have patents in Europe and US already granted, but we're also working on that as well. We have 2 million funding already from competitive projects. We are 4 years in operations, and we have completed preclinical trials. We have also tested our solution in emergency medicine in 5 different countries in Europe. And we also applied this technology, translated this into combat medicine. So the warfighters are wearing this device, and we ran a European Defense Fund, and we tested the technology in a training camp already in Spain. So this is the market. It will expected to reach about 35 billion worldwide. Competition is there. It's a rather busy slide, but I'm gonna give you just a highlight of what we do better. We have cuffless blood pressure. It's not common. We have core temperature, stethoscope, functionality, multi-placement. The same device can be attached on the wrist or at the chest. We have Edge AI on-device capabilities, and we use it as well. And we have tested the device in this specific application, which is the emergency triage situation. So our team, we are 3 co-founders from different universities and different backgrounds. So my background is biomedical engineering. We have IoT and communications and electrical engineering as well. We have advisory board, mainly doctors for the time being. And our team has also PhD holders and master students. So the good thing is that we collaborate for more than 20 years, and we've run a number of, let's say, projects, prototypes, and journal papers related to what we do. The funding that we would like to get, in addition of what we have, is about 1 million. That would help us to complete the IPR and patents that we have in line, and of course produce a number of devices, about 1,000 batch of devices, and of course get the certification that is needed. It's MDR and it costs a lot, as the previous presenter knows as well. So, yes, that's okay. So we have 1 device, 2 embodiments, wrist and patch, seamless transition in and out of the clinic, can be used also for remote monitoring, as you can imagine. It's the only device that can capture 9 vital signs simultaneously, and also including cuffless blood pressure, core temperature monitoring, stethoscope functionality, edge on device AI, and it's reusable, ergonomic, and disinfection compatible. So with this, I'd like to end my presentation, and thank you for the attendance.
Thank you, Mr. Sakalis. Now I would like to call on stage Mr. Chris Bakal from Sentinel 4D.
Do I got it? I was going to do a nice little Greek saying to start off with, but I didn't think I could commit to it. I thought it would be too cheesy. Anyways, yes, my name is Chris Bakel. I'm the CSO and co-founder of Sentinel 4D, a company that's based in Boston and London right now. And we've invented a new kind of AI, which we call morphological intelligence, which we're using to de-risk R&D development in pharma and also discover new kinds of drugs across sectors. So I think we can all maybe agree that most drugs don't work, or at least don't work in the long run. I'm sure you've taken something that a pill, an antidote, a vaccine, it stops working eventually, and that's because of the way I think our medicines have been designed historically. Most drugs will fail in the long term, and that's because cells develop resistance over time. And even, AI hasn't solved this problem. Even the best AI right now cannot figure this out. And that's because we live in a 4D world. We live in a three-dimensional world, and this world changes over time. But most of our medicines have been built on data, which is 2D data, not 3D. It's always almost dead cells that is the input data, and there's no dynamics. And as Plato said in Timaeus, you have to watch and track things over time if you're ever going to find out the truth. And that's what we're trying to do at Sentinel 4D. These are cancer cells being treated with a drug, adapting to the drug over time and spreading through this plate. So what our technology essentially monitors these cell-shaped transitions that happen in 4D, captures rare events, and allows us to find and predict resistance earlier and differently than anyone else can do. So we call this morphological intelligence, and how it works is we first analyze and capture cell behavior in physiologically relevant conditions. In 4D, real cells adapting in front of our eyes. And we use this using microscopy that only maybe 9 other people in the world have. And we analyze single cell shape in 3D using geometric deep learning. We use multiple instance learning, a different kind of AI, to predict resistance, and we integrate this kind of 4D data with omics data to link cell shape and function. And finally, we use a third kind of AI, generative AI, to discover personalized combinations and new therapeutic strategies. The outcome of all this is we de-risk early discovery. For our partners, we make their R&D investment a lot more secure and better, and we also find and innovate new drugs that were completely missed before. Now, why it's different than everyone else, it's because we have the data, and we have data that no one else has. And there's maybe only a handful of academic institutions in this world that can match our data set. So we have imaging of cells in 3D over time in conditions that mimic what the cells would see in the body. This is a data set of 100,000 of single cells and millions of data points that continues to grow. It's growing right now. We have novel tech, we have best-in-class imaging, some of the best microscopes in the world, and unique models that we've developed. We have proven results, for example, we have active pilots in biotech, and we have now retrospective studies. All these have been published in very good journals like Cell Science and Nature, and we have inbound interest from drug discovery companies and many initial IP filings. What's the 10x? I can see the guys in the back asking what's the 10x in their head, right? So we think we have a multi-tier strategy for this, and that's initially working with our partners to provide diagnostics, and I said, essentially de-risk their R&D, but ultimately, at the end of the day, we're going to be an asset company that comes up with new drugs and combinations. And in the background of all this, we're going to continue to develop, and as we are developing now, IP around this morphological intelligence, this new kind of computer vision. And our model is going from a services to assets-based companies, whereas right now we're engaging in partnerships with pharma and biotech aimed at de-risking their assets. But then as the business grows and as we find our own assets, we will have our own combinations, our own drugs, essentially, that we will want to develop. And one of these has come from an unexpected turn. We're already developing our new assets, and that's in biodefense. So, long story, I could get to it, but we've essentially developed developing small molecules for effectors of pathogens like anthrax that are biological weapons that could be developed by some nasty people. And so using our AI-based shape technologies, we can rapidly come up with small molecules and ways to block those biological agents, essentially cures and antidotes for new biological agents that might be essentially developed. And we can do this quickly, and as the weapon adapts, we can adapt the cure quickly. And we just heard yesterday from the Prime Minister, the Greek government is now acting as a first client to many biodefense companies, so they would be a nice first customer for us to essentially do preclinical proof of concept work with. And ultimately, I wanted this to be a global company that has roots in Greece. So I think this is planning to, our mission is to support national goals in biotech, AI, and deep tech. Yes, I would love to be at the Life Tech Park, where I have a lab that acquires data and does our modeling there. And finally, we have a very Greek flavor to the company. Our CEO is diaspora. I am married into a Greek family, and we have Greek staff. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Bakal. Now I would like to call on stage Mrs. Sofia Paskent from Microvitality.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sofia. Thank you so much for having me. I am the co-founder of Microvitality, where we offer microbiome-powered diagnostics. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the power of your gut. As I'm sure you know, gut health is very much an essential part of life. It affects everything, not just digestion, but also your immunity, your brain function, your mental health. However, for the 1.8 billion patients that suffer from a disease called small intestine bacterial overgrowth, their gut, unfortunately, is working against them. And I'm aware that SIBO is quite a niche area in gastroenterology, but it is very much related to IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome, which I'm sure that many of you are familiar with. In fact, if you've ever, at any point in your life, had food poisoning, there is a very good chance that tomorrow you could wake up with IBS. Have no idea it started there. Don't mean to scare you, but it is a fact. It is very common, and it is very, very hard to diagnose. And of course, it's not just affecting patients. Gastrointestinal conditions actually cost the US healthcare system over $100 billion annually. Now, currently, the system is flawed. It is failing patients. The first step to get a diagnosis is to get a stool test. However, this actually reflects less than 50% of the microbial environment of the small intestine. So as you can imagine, it's not particularly accurate for such a disease. The second step is a breath test. However, this suffers from accuracy as low as 60%. So it's kind of 50-50 whether or not you're actually going to get the right diagnosis, and only as a very last resort will some patients choose to undergo a costly, invasive, and potentially risky endoscopy. Our goal is to eliminate all of this pain, the uncertainty, emotional and physical pain of receiving a diagnosis for SIBO and IBS by offering precision microbiome profiling directly from the small intestine where SIBO and IBS manifest. And the way that we're doing this is with this very, very small capsule that you very simply swallow. It travels through your entire GI tract completely non-invasively and can collect a very much accurate sample of your small intestine, which is then analyzed, telling you exactly what bugs are causing the overgrowth, therefore causing the disease, and therefore informing appropriate treatment. Compared to emerging alternatives, at Microvitality, we offer the only non-invasive, autonomous, and most importantly, size-flexible capsule, outperforming our closest competitor, Nimble Science, by over 70% when it comes to our contamination ratio, which then translates into accuracy rates. In terms of our impact, we allow for faster and cheaper diagnosis of gastrointestinal conditions, allowing for gastroenterologists to prescribe appropriate treatment to patients, so not just generic antibiotics that cause further pain, and also for gastroenterologists and clinics, we actually allow them to see more patients at the same time by kind of eliminating and reducing the number of unnecessary procedures that they have to conduct on a daily basis. The market is quite substantial, so we initially estimate to obtain about $4 billion, and that is by gradually replacing the outdated methods that I mentioned in the beginning, so stool and breath tests, but this is just the very beginning. So after diagnostics, we plan to venture into drug development and precision medicine before eventually tackling biohacking, at-home gut health. There's a huge boom in this place right now, and then we will be gathering a very substantial data from the gut, therefore allowing us to monetize this for further revenue streams in the future. In terms of commercialization, we do plan to begin to generate revenue even prior to FDA approval, which is quite interesting. And at the same time, we will be performing our clinical studies to ensure that by year 4, we are ready to be cleared as a SIBO diagnostic at a price point of $500 per kit, which includes the analysis as well as the capsule. We have a fantastic team. Again, I'm Sophia, I'm the COO. I'm joined by our wonderful CEO, Zoe Watson, and together we founded Microvitality to help some of our closest friends and family who suffer on a daily basis. And we know that potentially even some of you in the audience might relate to this. We're joined by a phenomenal group of advisors, including microbiologists, gastroenterologists, as well as serial entrepreneurs who have brought devices from a lab at leading institutions all the way through FDA and full commercialization to help us achieve this. We are guided by at least 6 to 8 Boston-based accelerators and maybe even more. And we have been bootstrapped since April of last year. And we're also complemented by a very large grant by the NIH awarded to the university at Tufts in Boston for a large-scale human study, in addition to receiving non-significant risk designation for our device, which means that we're actually able to initiate the partnerships that I mentioned before as early as this year. And we've also been awarded free of charge lab space for about 4 months, which will allow us to initiate manufacturing and also our studies. So at this point, we're raising our pre-seed round, and this will allow us essentially to get to a very, very important point of human data. So our device has been validated in 3 large animal models, but no human data just yet. So that's the very first thing that we want to do in order to get the partners and also be able to engage with the FDA, not only with consultants, but also have our pre-submission meeting to completely solidify our strategy and also begin manufacturing. Thank you so much, and I invite you all to make personalized, timely, and accessible care a reality for all.
Thank you so much, Sophia. And I would like to call on stage Mr. Haralambos Kosmas from Lunar Cargo.
Good evening. I would like to talk about Hellenic selenodromia, in English, lunar cargo. It's about a landing system on the moon that does not use any fuel. The market is exponential. Until the end of the validity of our patent, 2041, according to estimation of PricewaterhouseCoopers, the market is 1.5 trillion. We have a patent, European, since 2023, and 2 weeks ago we got the American. Here's the European patent. The reason there is so much desire for the moon currently is because of helium-3, which is the ideal fuel for aneutronic fusion, clean energy that will permit to stop consuming fossil fuels, which is 8 trillion per year. The current use of helium-3 is existing. It is chilling the quantum computers and costs 20 million per kilo. That price will go up when aneutronic fusion will be achieved in about 10 years. This is how it works. An orbiter on the moon leaves a parcel that goes into a mechanical catcher and then is decelerated by a network of wires over a length of 10 to 30 kilometers. I will play it once more. No, I cannot go back. Anyway, you can see that on the side. What's the major advantage is that we don't use any fuel. As I said, consists on the surface of a system with 2 elements. The catcher, which needs to be very light, and the decelerator, which can be from something like nitinol. Also important, that does not generate any ejecta. Ejecta is the regolith that is lifted up when the lander, classical lander, hits the ground with gases at 4 kilometers per second. So my major advantage by not consuming fuel is that we increase efficiency by 323%. We can start with something very modest, carrying parcels of 200 grams, like a soda can. But we can grow exponentially at a rate of 10 times every 3 years by bringing down parcels containing xylon and the wire we need for the system. With respect to my experience, it seems to have stopped. Now moved a lot. Anyway, the last news from April 29, we have the American patent, and we're going to present also to Paris in Vivatech, 11 to 13th of June. We can start by sending on a parking orbit a wire load, very cheap. We can capitalize on qualification flights of launchers, meaning we don't have to pay hundreds of millions to bring that on orbit. This year, there will be 25 qualification flights, and we want to catch at least one. Here's how I calculate the efficiency increase with respect to the classical landers. And here is what I based my ideas and can be compared with. The last time somebody discussed about landing with mechanical means on the moon was in the 70s by an associate of Ernest Ford Brown. And he had suggested the lunar slide lander to land on a plateau of the moon that is called Ocean of Storms. My system works with smaller payloads on every mountain, does not have the limitation of the big plane that was needed in that case. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kosmas. And now I would like to call on stage our last founder, Mrs. Chrysoula Strifti from Kori.
Good evening. My name is Strifti Chrysoula. I am a software engineer and the co-CTO of Kori. Our startup is using eye tracking and virtual reality in order to assist medical ophthalmology. This is our interdisciplinary team. We are consisted of doctors and engineers, and this is a board of our seasoned advisors, including doctors, engineers, and professors. Now, medical literature indicates that there is an increasing rate of wrong and very delayed children's examinations, which can lead to serious eye conditions that are irreversible. Moreover, the methods that are used by doctors are very outdated and inaccurate. And also, there is a problem that several secluded areas, such as the Greek islands, do not have access to medical care. This is why we have created 2 services. The first one is Telekori. It is a smartphone application that performs eye tracking using and it acts as a telemonitoring system in order to help the patient perform several eye examinations in only one sitting and share it with their doctors. Moreover, Dr. Kori is a VR headset that will be supplied to doctors' offices, and this headset will help facilitate the examinations of children which have a hard time sitting through several examinations in the doctor's offices. Our algorithm is created using AI and computer vision. And also, this is a demo app, including, for now, 3 examinations, and we're gradually adding several examinations in collaboration with our doctors. Now, I would like to demonstrate you how the strabismus examination is performed in the doctor's offices. I would like to mention that strabismus is the misalignment of the two eyes. The doctor covers the eye, and as they're uncovering it, they're trying to see if the eye moved from its initial position. This method is inaccurate, it is outdated, and using our software, Dr. Corey, on the right, you can see that it is quantified. We can quantify the maximum deviation of the eye, and as you can see in the parts that the eye is uncovered, there is a large fluctuation indicating that the person has strabismus. We have made a long journey from paper prototypes and inaccurate algorithms to a Dr. Corey prototype which is scaled down to children's measurements, and also a very accurate pupil tracking algorithm. Our cost went from 500 euros for the prototype, Dr. Corey prototype, to only 80 euros. We have several important milestones, one of which being our visit to Ophthalmica Medical Clinic in Thessaloniki, where we were able to examine 7 children using our Dr. Corey VR headset, and we were able to accurately detect at least 2 of them with strabismus. Moreover, we have tested our demo app with 500 users and also gotten feedback and opinions from more than 250 medical professionals, as we deemed their opinions to be largely important. We have published researches in the Journal of Pediatric Ophthalmology and have presented our reviews and findings in several ophthalmological congresses and conferences in Greece and Europe. Some of our awards. Moreover, we have one of our most recent accomplishments is the presentation at the Greek Parliament to the Special Standing Committee on Research and Technology. We have collaborated with the Greek Armed Forces and taken awards from them and with several military hospitals. Thank you very much for your time. My name is Trifti Chrysoula and this is Cory.
Thank you so much, Chrysoula. Now I would like to call on stage Mrs. Hellenic from HIAS.
So thank you to all of our startuppers for the rich input. I'm sure you have follow-up thoughts, and we want to ask you to hold on to them because we will soon move to the apero where you can exchange more closely. And before that, I would like to invite to the floor Professor Theodora Varvarigou from the National Technical University of Athens and a founding member of HIAS, who will summarize the discussions and give us the closing remarks. The floor is yours.
Oops. Hello, everybody. As we conclude this inspiring day, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has made this a remarkable success. A special thanks to the Latsis Foundation for a remarkable hospitality and support, and also to Endeavor for their vital role in organizing this gathering with us. It's been a privilege to listen to distinguished speakers and panelists, entrepreneurs whose insights have enriched our understanding of Greece's entrepreneurial landscape. Thank you all for your contributions, your energy, and your commitment. Also, I want to acknowledge the entrepreneurs who showcased their innovative pitches today. Your passion and ideas truly added sparkle to our workshop. Thank you. I hope that each of you take advantage of the numerous networking opportunities to connect, share ideas, and lay foundations for future collaborations. So, build meaningful relationships is a key to transforming innovative ideas into successful ventures. So, as a recap to our workshop today, we heard from Andreas Badouvis on HIAS' mission to bridge this Greek diaspora scientific talent with local entrepreneurial opportunities. HIAS aims to foster exchanges that not only enhance scientific progress, but also translate innovations into viable business solutions. So we invite all of you to join this initiative. Your ideas, expertise, and networks are vital to creating a vibrant ecosystem that supports both scientific and entrepreneurial growth. Please engage with HIAS, collaborate, share your initiatives, and help us build this bridge for the sake of Greece's future. So as a recap to our discussions today, there was some initial context of the Greeks' current innovative and economic environment. So there's been consensus that Greece has made a significant progress with respect to aspects that matter, like collaborative innovation networks, for example, because of course innovation is a teamwork. We've seen progress in science and technology parks, Elevate Greece creation, but also initiatives like HIAS and bioinnovation that was mentioned earlier by Mr. Kirpidis, those networks that connect the Greek diaspora with the local technologists and business people. Also, it's been a progress on business and environmental conduct, like tax incentives, but also that business environment that has become one that's conducive to growth, which is important. There is improvement of the right talent. So here there were people that said almost opposite things. Although in the opening we heard like there's a unique opportunity to start a company in Greece because there's Greek talent, which is you can hire for less and it doesn't change the jobs very often. But then again, startup says that even this labor is expensive for us and we're running out of it. It has been a big, in the recent years, a big improvement in sustainable funding. So we heard that over 50 million in public equity, 6 or 7 early stage funds. So things are growing in that direction. And of course, there are startups that are successful in Greece and beyond. There's a big momentum in healthcare, health tech and biotech and IT. Unfortunately, areas such as maritime, logistics, tourism, agriculture, although they were expected to see more activities in these areas, especially along with sustainability aspects of these issues, we're still waiting to see more efforts in this area. Definitely, we need more efforts like HIAS, more extrovert activities that link the local Greek talent with the pool of the Greeks in diaspora. There's some cultural issues that need to be improved, like, for example, this bias of theory over practice. We Greeks theorize a lot and do less. And also there's this conflict between doing good for business versus doing good for the country. One has to overcome that and accept that business is doing good to the country by doing good to the business, right? There's been a note that there's a massive difference in tech investments in the US versus the ones in Europe. It looks like the US is confident to what's coming, whereas Europe is confident to what we already have. So there's a change of pace and a culture there that we Europeans and the Greeks have to face. So in the first panel, we had the opportunity to follow some trends and challenges in the AI-based entrepreneurship world. And of course, these interesting times, there's dynamic crowds and vibrant entrepreneurial spirit related to AI, disruption opportunities. So, this idea that all we see will be gone in 20 years. And so that's a great opportunity for those that are start to build now. AI is a technology with no boundaries in its use. Some said that it will become a commodity. Some said, of course, the winner will take it all, but it will be a to commodity. You know, I say that, you know, maybe it will be regulator at the end, like energy or water, because it's so vital that, you know, people will need it for their everyday tasks. So there is this AI co-scientist notion that, you know, it's appearing. And it was interesting to hear that this makes expertise to become, or skills to become democratized. Like the way internet democratized the information and knowledge, now expertise become, and skills become something that we can all have access to. So this is very important. So, of course, you know, the trends and hotspots are in healthcare, personalized medicine, autonomous systems and robotics, and foundation models and multimodal AI. But, you know, that was strange to hear also about back to classics and back to basics from our panelists today. So there's very often scarcity in data, and there's very important boundary conditions by physical phenomena. So there's sometimes we have to complement scarce data knowledge with physics and physical model descriptions. So one has to, you know, do fundamental research in gray models that combine both physical conditions like, you know, differential equations and so forth, and AI systems that are trainable through models. So it was very interesting to hear that. And, you know, people said, you know, stay in fundamentals. Technology will change, fundamentals will not. You know, physics laws and differential equations have been around for many, many years. So don't throw that away, but improve the way we work with those. And we include the data science and AI into the fundamentals that we've done for years. So it's interesting to see as an AI playground, as a playground for multidisciplinarity, the way computers were in the past, or nonlinear mathematics was in the past. So it's AI is a mold for making people working from different disciplines working together. So, and also there was an interesting point on that important work needs to be done to the fundamentals of data representation and to present knowledge compacts as ways to communicate information between people and between people and machine. So fundamental works on representing in a compact way knowledge, not just throw data on your AI machines. So there needs to be, in order to empower the Greek AI innovation system, there needs to be a culture in the university and the research centers. You know, these scientists need to let the baby go and, you know, and partner with the business. Also, people said business is not your customer, you scientists. Business is your partner. So it's very important also in the change, the idea that the culture that the universities and the academicians have, and that needs to change. There's important, they have to take care of the researchers have to speak with the key opinion leaders because humans change slowly and technology changes fast. So you need to really meet your customers and your users' needs, and this will take you for a long time if you focus on that, whereas technology you might need to change every so often. And there's this immense market for AI is also a very good observation here, is that what it is digitized ultimately will be AI-based. So this is shows actually the scale of what the application of AI technology will be able to reach. But however, investors are often back to the basics when investing. AI has had their misses already, and it's still in the early phase of the curve, of the maturity curve. So investors are taking note of that and are very cautious in integrating AI advanced systems with legacy applications to limit the risks. Of course, academia and industry have to speak the same language, and so on and so forth. Now, when you come to the trends and challenges in entrepreneurship for health in the area of AI, of course, the academics said that importance of the academic labs, all the best discoveries have come out of a university and laboratories, and although translating these discoveries into approved medicine still requires navigating rigorous validation processes, and you have to go over the translation gap and get out of the valley of death, but actually value is coming out and big discoveries have come out of a university and research lab. So the investor's perspective was, kind of a bit surprising to me. It's this thing of cautiously optimistic and bullish. This cautious and bullish, it's contradictory in terms. So it is, it's a polite way to say, I think, cautious. So there's been a lot of companies in the pharma domain that they saw their public value go down to large percentages, and the hype over the valuations have gone down to reality, to a big surprise and big losses for many big companies. So the central promise for designing the right molecule has been disappointing so far. So many technologies are not there yet, and it often takes a few generations to succeed. Also take notice that animal testing is far from a good testing environment, so must be replaced maybe with a mixture of modeling and animal systems. So a bit of a skepticism out of the investors that went through a sad turning of the curve of the AI hype. We heard a lot of very promising, however, areas in the life sciences. Image processing kind of technologies, one area, agents and compilers to provide support and ambience to practitioners, another very important area. Of course, big data, genomics and proteomics, home-based health monitoring systems. We heard some of these ideas in the pitches today. Also, digital biomarker patterns in voice or other digital biomarkers that can predict medical conditions. Some of those are the ones that people mentioned as areas that people are working and are very promising, so we should be looking into this. The risks in AI-driven innovation in health services, of course, not good enough data, privacy biases, gradual drifts as data is generated from other data which is generated from artificially produced data, so beware of this drift in data quality. And also this biomarkers flip side that might put ethics and privacy at risk. The example with recognition of your medical case from the insurance. So, and a big underlying that AI is not a multidisciplinary ground, but is a ground that becomes fertile when engineering, math, chemistry comes along. So one should go back into the fundamentals again once more here, because AI alone is a solution that doesn't have a problem. So engineering, math, and chemistry have to grow together and have to be supported equally in order to give rise to important innovation. So it's important to see the scene at the global scale. So there was a note here, there's not an entrance barrier. So no scale and scope economics of scale, only engineering and good results. So the Chinese, the Indian, and the Koreans, all Asia is knocking at the door with a competitive product. So there's nothing that, and us, of course, because we don't have a tradition like Greece. So if we're good engineers and if we have good results, then we don't need to worry about scale and scope and economies of scales. So there's an equal chance for everybody. So now, finally, I'll come, on funding mechanism and partnerships for the Greek startups. And there, I heard that deep tech and health tech and med tech are strategic sectors where Greece can truly excel. These fields require comparatively modest capital investments, with the primary asset being skilled human capital. With strong university research and growing base of tech talents, Greece is well positioned to lead in niche innovation in these areas. Of course, bridging the gap between academic research and entrepreneurs is critical. Not only fund early stage venture capital issue, but also technology transfer offices, incubators, mentorship programs. So early stage venture capital is not as impactful unless it comes along with services of that were mentioned. A transition from concept to commercial products is especially challenging in smaller markets. Although this was challenged later on, that said, size of the internal size doesn't matter, and all it matters equally is the quality of technology and the people. The example of the Scandinavian countries there with the smaller markets, so you don't need to succeed inside to succeed outside. So there's two views in this issue. Of course, healthcare, from an investment point of view, presents unique challenges. Penetration cycles are very slow, regulation pathways are complex, and clinical adoption depends on both evidence and integration with existing systems. So Greece can benefit from national-scale pilot programs and partnerships with major hospitals to validate technologies domestically before expanding abroad. There was some suggestions to, and some bell ringing to the universities to improve the technology outcomes. So technology that's coming out of the universities sometimes needs to be improved, and that's a message that universities, we professors and scientists need to take into consideration seriously. Also, don't dream only the US all the time. China, Japan, and India are great collaborators, and they have great markets. So this it's a mind shift, so people might find it useful to turn their head to the east as well. So, in closing, this workshop has clearly illustrated Greece's vast potential to become a hub of innovation, especially in AI, healthcare, and sustainable industries. To realize this potential, we must embrace collaboration between academia, industry, government, and entrepreneurs, and leverage diverse funding opportunities. Let's foster a vibrant ecosystem that supports startups from initial ideas to international scale, ensuring that Greece's innovation spirit remains resilient and forward-looking. I encourage everyone to stay engaged, continue building bridges, and turn today's ideas into tomorrow's impactful realities. Thank you all for your participation, for your passion, for your vision for Greece's bright future. The future is here, and the wine is waiting outside.